Welcome to American History Notes, where I discuss things that I've learned from studying American history and things I want to share with you. You might not agree with the conclusions I draw, but you should learn about these things, or at least know these names and events and places and concepts. So we're in art, literature, and music and dance and things like that before we get into other special topics. So I'm going to start today. Mary Cassatt paints The Bath in 1891. Black painter Henry O. Tanner, a student of Thomas Eakins, paints The Banjo Lesson in 1893. And in that year and the next, Cassatt paints The Boating Party. John Sloan of the Ashcan School paints Dust Storm, Fifth Avenue in 1906. The next year, Rockwell Kent paints Winter, Monhegan Island. The Ashcan School of Artistic Realism is founded in Philadelphia by Robert Henry, George Bellows, William Glackens, George Lux, Everett Shinn, and John Sloan, who will be influential until World War I. George Bellows completes Mrs. Chester Dale in 1919. So then we have in 1925, Congress authorized Gutzon Borglum to carve a colossal memorial of the bust of Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt on the face of Mount Rushmore in the Black Hills of South Dakota, which will be finished in 1941 by Borglum's son, Lincoln. Georgia O'Keeffe will paint Black Iris in 1926. The Museum of Modern Art opens in New York City in 1929. Grant Wood paints American Gothic in 1930. Alexander Calder will create a new form of sculpture consisting of carefully balanced plates, rods, and wires in 1932. Marcel Duchamp calls it immobile. In 1934, Black painter Aaron Douglas produces murals in the Harlem branch of the New York Public Library. Now, on music and dance. On the popular level, toward the end of the 19th century, African American forms and rhythm of music began to be popular as music continues its journey toward the flesh. Black composer Scott Joplin writes the ragtime, a word with several possible origins, but the most likely one, according to social historians, is too vulgar to mention here. Song Maple Leaf Rag in 1897, named for the social club, that's a brothel, above a saloon somewhere where he played the piano. He will usher in the age of ragtime and get the name King of Ragtime. In the early 1900s, the cakewalk, an African-American dance, sweeps the nation, being made popular by two Black entertainers, Ed Brooke Williams and George Walker. The syncopated dance style called buck and swing, brought to the American stage by James McIntyre, becomes known as tap dancing. Between 1900 and 1910, New Orleans jazz begins to develop. Jazz itself is a name derived from a Black slang for sex, would become an important music form from the time of bands like the Razzie Dazzy Spasm Band and the Razzie Dazzy Jazzy Band of the late 19th century New Orleans brothels. Popular words like boogie woogie, referring to an STD, gig, jelly roll, juke as in jukebox, and swing music all had their origins in vulgar references to sex. Jazz music becomes popular in Europe in the teens and the 20s with performers like Paul Whiteman, Jelly Roll Morton, and Duke Ellington taking the stage. So we're going to stop there and pick it up with some dance forms next, and then more music. So I just hope that you'll study these things or look into them so you can learn about them and know that they existed and it's part of our history. So I look forward to talking to you again. Have a great day.